There lived a beautiful and hardworking young lady named Chinelo. With her radiant smile and kind heart, she was loved by all who knew her. Chinelo had a dream of a bright future with the love of her life, Ikenna. Ikenna was a charming and ambitious young man who had always believed in the power of hard work and perseverance. So one fateful day, Ikenna received an opportunity to travel abroad in search of greener pastures. He told Chinelo. She didn't know how to react at first, whether to be happy for him or not. So on the day Ikenna was to leave, Chinelo's heart felt very heavy. As they stood beneath the old mango tree, their favorite spot, Ikenna took her hands in his and promised, "I will return for you, Chinelo. I promise to marry you. Our love will conquer the distance." With tears in her eyes, Chinelo nodded her head, believing in the strength of their love. They exchanged heartfelt goodbyes, and as Ikenna boarded the bus that would take him away, Chinelo whispered in tears, "Forever." So as time passed, their love flourished despite the distance. They communicated frequently through phone calls and messages, sharing their dreams and aspirations. Ikenna would often send Chinelo little gifts, a beautiful scarf, a necklace, or even a simple postcard that reminded her of their shared dreams. Each message filled her heart with hope and excitement, reaffirming her belief that their love could withstand any distance. However, as time passed, the frequency of their communication began to dwindle. The first year was filled with sweet words and promises, but as the second year rolled in, Chinelo noticed a change. Ikenna's replies began to drop, and she often found herself staring at her phone, hoping it will ring with his name. 2 years later, the silence became unbearable. Chinelo tried every means to reach Ikenna. Calls, messages, even reaching out to friends who might have heard from him. But each attempt was met with disappointment. The once vibrant connection they shared began to fade into a haunting silence. Desperate and heartbroken, Chinelo visited the village square, hoping to find comfort among her friends. She confided in her best friend Ify, who listened to her attentively. "Maybe he's just busy, Chinelo. You know how life can be over there," Ify suggested, trying to comfort her. But deep down, Chinelo felt something was wrong. She remembered Ikenna's promises and the dreams they had shared. What if something happened to him? She thought, her heart heavy with uncertainty. So as Christmas approached, the village was abuzz with preparations. The air was filled with the aroma of jollof rice and pepper soup, and the sound of laughter echoed through the streets. Yet, for Chinelo, the festive spirit felt distant. She decorated her home with colorful ornaments, but her heart was not in it. The absence of Ikenna cast a shadow over her celebrations. The last Sunday before Christmas, Chinelo attended the church service, her heart aching with longing. The choir sang carols and the community gathered in joy, but all she could think of was Ikenna. As she lighted a candle, she whispered a prayer for his safety and well-being. After the service, she returned home, feeling more alone than ever. Just as she settled into bed, her phone rang. Her heart raced as she grabbed it, hoping it was Ikenna. But it was a message from a mutual friend, Chijioke, who lived in the same foreign country as Ikenna. "Chinelo, I'm sorry to tell you this. But I heard from Ikena's family that he had a serious accident few months ago and has been recovering. He didn't want to worry you. He's been in and out of hospital since then." Chinelo's heart sank. She felt a wave of emotions crash over her. Relief that he was alive, but sorrow for the pain he had endured alone. She quickly typed a response, asking for more details and hoping to connect with him. Days passed, and finally she received a call from Ikena. Hearing his voice again was like a balm to her aching heart. "Chinelo, I'm sorry for everything. I wanted to reach out, but I was scared. I didn't want to burden you with my condition," he confessed. Tears streamed down her face as she listened to him. "Ikena, you can never be a burden. I've missed you every single day. I thought I lost you," she replied, her voice trembling. "I promise to make it up to you," Ikena said, his voice filled with determination. "I'm coming home for Christmas and I want to ask for your hand in marriage." As days drew closer to Christmas, Chinelo felt a renewed sense of hope. The village buzzed with excitement as preparations for the holiday intensified. Chinelo decorated her home with vibrant colors, her heart fluttering at the thought of Ikena's return. She shared the news with her family and friends, who rejoiced with her, their laughter echoing through the village. On Christmas Eve, the church was filled with the warm glow of candles and the sweet sound of carols. Chinelo sat among her friends, her heart racing with anticipation. As the service concluded, she stepped outside. The cool night air wrapped around her like a comforting embrace. Suddenly, she spotted a familiar figure in the distance. Her heart skipped a beat as she recognized Ikena, standing under the mango tree where they had shared their first promise. He looked different, more matured, perhaps a bit weary, but his smile was as radiant as she remembered. "Chinelo," he called, his voice filled with emotion. She ran to him and they embraced tightly, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. "I'm home," he whispered, holding her close. They spent the entire evening reminiscing about their dreams and the time they had lost. Ikena shared stories of his struggles and triumphs, and Chinelo listened intently, her heart swelling with pride for the man he had become. As the clock struck midnight, signaling the arrival of Christmas, Ikena took Chinelo's hands in his. "I've waited so long for this moment," he said, his eyes shining with sincerity. "Chinelo, will you marry me?" Overwhelmed with joy, Chinelo nodded, her voice barely a whisper. "Yes," 1,000 times. "Yes." The village erupted in celebration as the news spread. Families gathered to feast, and the air was filled with music, laughter, and the delicious aroma of traditional dishes. Chinelo and Ikena danced together, their hearts intertwined, celebrating not just their love, but the resilience that had brought them back together. So as the sun set on Christmas Day, Chinelo reflected on the journey they had taken. Their love had been tested by distance and hardship, but it had emerged stronger than ever. Surrounded by family and friends, she felt a profound sense of gratitude for the love they shared and the promise of a beautiful future together. In that moment, under the twinkling stars, Chinelo knew that their story was just beginning, and the promise of forever was finally within reach. Now we have come to the end of another beautiful story. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow. See you next time. Bye for now.